With Spreadsheet.com, you can use Gantt views to visualize and manage work schedules and relationships between tasks. For example, here we have a product launch plan spreadsheet with columns for start date, end date, duration, status, owner, and more. Now let's say we want to see a timeline of this project and manage it more visually. We can do this easily in Spreadsheet.com with a Gantt view. To create a new Gantt view in any worksheet, go to the View selector and click Plus New View, then choose Gantt as the view type. We'll call this our launch timeline. Click Save. And now Spreadsheet.com automatically builds a Gantt timeline for us with a Gantt chart to the right of the spreadsheet. The Project Management dialog opens, allowing us to make changes to the way Spreadsheet.com handles project data in this worksheet. Here you can define which columns are used for project management, and control settings for working days and hours, and whether or not to enable task dependencies, which we'll review in a few minutes. In the Gantt view, you'll see your full spreadsheet to the left, and you can add filters, sorts, and other view-specific settings, just like a sheet view. Over to the right, you'll see the Gantt chart with a special Gantt toolbar above it. Here you can zoom in and out of the timeline to get a better view. A divider between the Gantt chart and your spreadsheet can be moved easily to see more or less of the chart. And you'll notice that the chart stays in sync with your rows as you scroll. It even automatically adjusts when you change the height of your rows. In Gantt views, each row is shown as a taskbar in the Gantt chart based on its start date and end date values. When you drag a bar to move a task in the timeline, you'll notice that the date and duration values in the worksheet adjust automatically. Resizing a taskbar also changes its start date or end date and its duration. The optional percentage complete column value is used to visually change the taskbars to show how complete each task is. And if your task rows are indented to form a hierarchy, parent rows become fixed and automatically adjust based on child row values. For example, let's make this launch event plan task a child of the launch schedule task. You'll notice that launch schedule now becomes a parent row and auto-adjusts whenever we make changes to its child rows. Gantt views in Spreadsheet.com also support task dependencies. If you have dependencies enabled in your worksheet's project management settings, you'll be able to assign predecessors to each task. A predecessor column uses the related row data type to define the relationship between tasks. So you can assign predecessors in the worksheet or by dragging and dropping connections between taskbars in the Gantt view itself. When a predecessor task is changed, all dependent tasks below it change as well. For example, we can see that our Go-To Market Strategy task is on hold, so let's give it some more time. You'll notice all of the tasks that are dependent on it get pushed out by that additional amount of time. Moving dependent tasks back shows you a dashed line, indicating that the dependency will become invalid. If you choose to proceed, you'll notice that the dependency breaks, and you'll have the opportunity to undo the change. Tasks with a duration value of 0 are shown as diamonds, which are milestones in project management. So, here we have a task called Launch at the end of our product launch plan, and we'll set this to start on October 17th. We'll give it a duration of 0 to set it as a milestone task. And then we'll make sure that the launch cannot happen without the website being done first. So we'll make that a dependency. Now we can use the critical path option to highlight the longest sequence of tasks that must be completed to successfully conclude the project from start to finish. You can control the appearance of each Gantt view with the Gantt Appearance Settings dialog. Here you can change which column values are used for the taskbar labels, and you can change how taskbars are colored. For example, you can define a custom color for all taskbars. Or you can choose a different Select column to use for coloring. For example, here we have a Select column called Type, so we can change the taskbar colors to match the task type.